Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do, because my memory card is actually almost full, is I'm going to bring all of these cuttings in. So this one here, I threw some moss in there and it came with some weeds. And one of the cuttings doesn't look like it survived, and it did not, and that's okay. There's another cutting here. No roots, that's okay. We still got two viable ones. Not that we need two viable ones. I'm not sure what that weed is. If it's a weed. Grass. Some other thing. And I can see these here are those wood sorrels. You can tell, I can tell those ones right away. This is something else, but I'm going to pull it out anyway. There. Hopefully the moss takes. Hopefully you guys saw all that. I think you did. I'm not going to do anything to these cuttings. Just going to leave them. And I'll take those in. Now, these are my cuttings from the Calendar Girl. And I know that she's a ginseng ficus. And I know that she's got grafts at the top of her. But I don't know if the grafts are the same type of ficus or if they're a different type of ficus. The leaves on this are different than the leaves on the Calendar Girl. See how these leaves are long and pointy? Well, if we pan over here to the Calendar Girl, I know she's hiding in the other stuff there. So if we look over at her over there, some of the leaves are long and pointy, but most of them are rounded. Like the new leaves especially are rounded. And they're, yeah. They're definitely, they're definitely a lot different than these leaves. So I'm starting to think that the graft is different than the tree itself. So I don't actually know. I know that they're a ficus, but I can't remember if these came off the graft or if they came off of the growth that's growing below the graft, because there is growth coming off those roots on the Calendar Girl, but I am uncertain, so we'll just go with ficus. And they're getting very top heavy, as you can see. This one's already tipped over. It's got a weird little thing going on down here. I'll have to fix at some point. So I do want one taller one and then I'll try one shorter one. I am not keeping, well, I can't say that. I might keep the cuttings, but not right now. Maybe I'll keep next time's cuttings or something like that. I've got to get rid of some first. I mean, rehome some first. So I think I'll make this one the shorter tree. And the internodes are about the same distance there, and they start to elongate up here. So I think I'll cut back here. Look at that. That would make such a great cutting. And I'm just throwing it on the ground. That's unbelievable. I never do that. So this one here, it's actually got a couple of branches started down here. Sorry if I'm talking too loud right into the side of the phone there, but So I want this one to be a bit taller. So I'll probably end up cutting these. There's a little tiny bud right here, and there's this bud. I'll probably end up cutting those off later, but I want to thicken the trunk with them, so I'm going to leave them for now. Sacrifices. These two might even be too low for what I envision anyway. So this one here, I want to grow a straight trunk, and then I want to have a canopy that's kind of like an umbrella, not a wide one. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I want a tight canopy where you can see all the branches underneath it. And I want the branches to be low altogether. Or I'm going to attempt that, like the dragon trees, I guess, the dragon blood trees, something like that. So I think I'll cut this one where all the internodes are close together here. They start to widen up here. I'll cut it there where it starts to rocket away. And look at that, would be another really nice cutting. Here, let's compare this. I know these leaves are very big compared to the ones on the calendar girl over there. There we go. So if you look at the calendar girl over there and we look at the leaves, you can see that they're pretty different. Oops, have to be careful. They're definitely not the same shape. There's one that might be the same shape. Not really though. They're not as pointy, not as long. I don't know. I'm not sure how to tell. I just know that visually they're very different. Yeah. Alright, so that's more cuttings done. I'll get those in the house. And I think that's going to have to be it for tonight. See, they got a whole bunch of those little wood searles. And they're starting to get thick at the bottom now. Oh, this one here, the leaf got stuck inside. I'll have to cut them. Cut them right now. What are you guys seeing? Not much. As per normal, eh? That's the new leaf. That's the new leaf. These little spider webs all over. Oh no, it's an actual spider. It's a real spider, not those spider mites. That can live on the floor though. So this was its new leaf that it just got, but it's also broken at the same time from the heavy winds. There's another leaf inside of there even. That didn't come out. So chop that back, chop that back. And we'll see if it grows new. This is its new leaf. We'll chop this one back. There. Stick. And then I'll have to get all these wood sorrels. Sorrels. I don't know how to say them. Clover thingies out of here. These ones are just like moss. Nuts. Doesn't seem to bother the date palms at all anyway. Yeah, I'll be able to get them in tonight anyway. I'm not doing anything else with them yet. I might even plant some more. Because date palms, you need males and females. Even though it's going to be like 40 years from now. This pot really wicks the moisture out of here. It's really wet in the center, but then it's bone dry on the outside. That's crazy. Oh. That's crazy too. Taking all my perlite away. Wow, those palms are rooted pretty good in there. Took a good handful of soil out of there and they didn't even budge. That's so weird. It's really moist in the center. Oops. And then you get to the outside and it's just dry. And that's got to be the terracotta that does that. I've just never seen it so drastic before. See that? How dry that was? It's on the outer edge. But it's sopping wet in the middle. And the mice are coming. Oh, oh. And the rain is coming. I'm going to have to get inside, guys, before the next storm hits. Wow, that weed came out of nowhere. There we go. And these guys I'll water once I get them in the house, since I have to water all the trees anyway. Perfect. Stand up straight, sir. Or ma'am. Right on. That'll do. I've got a whole bunch of repots to do. I'm going to try and get some of those done tonight. I'm not sure if I work yet. It's 7:30. My boss hasn't said anything. And it's a long weekend this weekend, and it's been incredibly windy. So I need to get the shop done. Everything's all loosened up there. The plywood, sorry. There, the plywood is touching the front again. I don't know why it slides. But I have to get that down off of there. Put the wood stove in the trailer and all that kind of stuff. So that's my big plan for this weekend. Oh my goodness, these flowers are so bright. Normally when I have them in the house, they're white with pink on the outside, like that really old one flower there. That's the brightest I've ever seen them. And my adenium that Nigel gave me, I'll just pull it over here. Look at how tiny these leaves are on here. It's getting all new sets of leaves. And they are just adorably tiny. If the phone will focus. Focus! There we go. Look how small those are. Aren't they adorable? It's got some really small leaves on it. Really nice shape. I don't know if the flowers on this one will be the same as the flowers on mine. Even the leaf shape on this one that Nigel gave me is different from the leaf shape on mine. So I guess we'll see what the flowers look like. But the leaves are coming out so small. Too cute. The difference is 20 years. I got my desert rose. Looked like this except without these two branches. Just have this one branch that stood about to here and one leaf on it. And it was a little bit skinnier than this in 2001. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, okay, I gotta get set up and going. I gotta feed the dog first, so he doesn't whine through my whole video. Okie dokie. I left the light on even about 10 minutes or so, and it's already about 2 degrees warmer in here. That is one hefty light. So, I'm just going to... I gotta get everything in, so... Well, not literally everything, but... I'm just gonna work my way through here. I'm seeing bugs on some of these, but I'll spray everything before I bring it in, like I did with most of the stuff so far. Now, how much of that can you see? Absolutely none of it. How's that? See, almost nothing left in here. You can see really well now. Maybe I'll bring you guys up a little bit. There we go. Like that. And then I can zoom a little bit more. There we go. I took the eagle down so that he wouldn't fall down. He's not breakable or anything, but I didn't want him to bust off any branches or anything for the move inside the house. I think you guys remember where the eagle was in the previous videos. He was a pretty cool find. I'm glad I got him. And he'll go on this branch right here. This nice flat one, so I want to make sure that it stays nice and flat for him. Oh, a couple of weeds here. You've seen me pull enough of those, I don't have to pan the camera down. And this trunk, nice and thick. It got lots of sun this year. It was outside on the outside bench. So it's time to trim it to get it back in. Take my hair off of it. It doesn't need my hair. And I'm happy that one dangly shoot that came off, it's being replaced by another one. Hopefully I'll get more on here. There's a nice swelling right here that will likely become another growth there. You probably won't see too much of this, but this was my back branch. Oops, but I can't remember exactly where the front was going to be. But I know I wanted to keep this as a nice back branch. It looked pretty cool. I don't know. I'm sure all that will change when I start researching more and doing more. So I'm going to thin this out and bring the growth back. Some of the leaves are gone in a lot of spots due to burn when I first brought the trees out. So I'm going to cut that off, and I am not keeping any cuttings. I have, I think, 25, maybe 30 cuttings in the house from the first trim on this when I brought it outside. I cannot keep any more. I have to rehome the ones I have first. Very, very sad, but a sad reality. So I'll start down here. I can't get into that one I want to cut that's coming through, but this one coming up here, there's a lot of small burnt leaves there, and there's another shoot coming out front. I'm going to break off this old leaf. It's almost broken anyway. That's a previous cut that I did there. And I think I'm going to bring it all the way back right to here. Ah, that sucks, but what can you do? So there's a growth. It's coming out the front here. I'm going to get rid of that completely. There's actually another branch started. I'll cut this out first and then I'll see if I can show you that. On these jades here, when a new branch is about to start, you can see like a little bunchlet. I don't know what it's called, but let me see. Right here. If you can see right here, this little bunch there. I'll see if I can get it at a different angle for you. Right there. Can I zoom in a bit more? Hidden by the lights. But right here, this little tiny bunch. You can see it sort of there. If this thing keeps or quits turning. Right here, this little bunch here. Let's see if I can, oh, they're both in the way. And it kind of sticks out there like that. That's going to be a new branch. The jades seem to always do that when they want to branch. Oh, probably bring you in closer if I lift you up. There we go. I love the size of this, but I still need to bring it back. Ow, a sliver. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. So we'll leave that for now. We'll trim that at a later date. But there's, over here, there's another branch growing toward the inside that I'm going to remove. And I missed a leaf there. I got to take that leaf off so it doesn't grow back. Pardon my squinting. I'm looking directly at the light there, so it's like somebody driving towards you with their brights on. I'm just cleaning up the wound, so hopefully it doesn't keep growing out of that same spot toward the inside. Okay. This one here, I think I'll leave it for now. I'll just take off this inside branch. Leaf. There's an inside leaf over here. I'd like to take off these two inside leaves too. Just like that. I don't think I want to take that growing tip off yet. So this branches to 2. Take off a big leaf out of the center. Ooh, a big bouncy leaf out of the center. Take off another one here. And another one, and another one. The beginning leaves are always heart-shaped, little hearts. Isn't that cute? I noticed that on this Connor from this Jade from Connor. Holy, I'm backwards today. Sorry about that, Connor. But this Jade does that a lot. It's got a lot of those little heart-shaped leaves. It's really cool. And they sure do turn red when they're out here. So there's it splits into 2 here. Woo! Don't tip over! Woo! You can tell that's top heavy. Splits into 2 here. So I'm going to bring both of those back. The nodes are very close together here, but far apart down and lower. I'm going to bring it back just to those last leaves there. And the same with this one. There's 2 leaves right below where the nodes get really close together. That's the type of growth I want. Oops. So this was the inside growth, and that growth I took off was actually from being outside. Random leaves. I know I should be twisting them off, but can't always get my fingers in there. Holy! That is top heavy. Even just taking that off sent it completely off balance. So I'm going to take off this really old big leaf here. Now these ones here, same thing. Oh, there's there's 3 coming from the same spot. this big leaf off. I'm gonna bring this back. I wonder if I like that center one better. Maybe not. So there's a bare area right in the middle, and there's actually two branches up here. It's branching off. I'm gonna take it back to those two leaves there. And here we're down into the burnt stuff from spring, so these are inside leaves, and this is the new growth. Let me just take this one off here. Excuse me. Take this big one off here. Let me just look at it from the front. I better hold the pot. Well, from what I would think is the front anyway. Can't really see much of that. I better take that middle growth out. But first, I'm going to take this one back to here. And then I'm going to take this middle growth out. I don't think I need it. And last but not least, these two. Splits into two, splits into two, splits into two. This one's going kind of forward. I want it to thicken up a little bit. This one I'll bring back to here. And this one, I think I'll just take the growing tip off. There. Yee. Don't tip over. Alright, that's that back branch taken care of. Brought the height down quite a lot. Get that one to bush out a little bit. It's really weird how it is. I might at some point end up cutting it off and planting it as a cutting. Just because of that weird angle it has on the tree there. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll fuse. I don't know. I'll see. I got time. I got time. Okay. So we should do this branch first, because that's where it's tipping off to. So this branch here does this weird curl and grows back in on itself, even though there's hopefully you guys can see that. Well, sort of. We'll bring you up a bit and zoom you in a bit. How's that? That's a bit better, eh? There, that's better. We're in the canopy at least. So there's that weird curling branch that comes back in on itself. Even though it splits nicely there, I'm going to remove that completely. Just like that. And this splits into two. It looks like there's going to be another branch on this side. There's not much in the middle. That must have been the inside growth that burnt. Don't really have much to bring it back to. Take this old leaf off here. This one I'll leave alone, and this one, this is not a direction I want it to go, neither is this. So I'll have to bring it, I'll just have to take the tip off of it for now, maybe. I don't know if I want to bring it all the way back. Maybe I should. I'll bring it all the way back. It'll regrow, I'm sure. So that lightens the load off of there. You can see a lot of these have the heart-shaped leaves. So I'll just tip most of these. The old leaves are almost completely red. can see the burn they had. And I'm not sure if that was from the sun or from a frost. I'm not really sure. Okay. So if we move up this branch, we come to here and here and here. Oh, there's 2 more branches coming out there. That'll be good. So this branch here, I'll bring down to... It looks like there's a couple of buds coming out here. I'll bring it down to that little tiny leaf. It's more of the direction I'd like to see. And this one's sliding back here. That splits nicely into 2. What should I do with that? I've got everything kind of growing that way, eh? I think I'll bring it right back below that twinning there. Yeah, to that leaf. So I took off that fork, but I think it'll be better in the long run. It's a little more stable already. Alright, last branch on this trunk. That one has a nice split too. I'll bring this one back. Not really much for choice to bring it back to, but it's got to come back. Tall and bare section. So these 2 branches are interfering with each other. Just double checking, you can see. These 2 branches are interfering with each other. Actually, this one here is growing straight up. I think I'm going to take that one that's growing straight up right off. And the leaf that it's attached to there. That'll do. That'll do. And then I'm going to take the growing tip out. I'll leave the other one. It's still short. This one here is just very long with nothing in the middle. So I'm going to take it back to here. And the one behind it, it's pretty big there. I'm going to bring it back to these 2 old leaves and see what it does. There. That section's done. I'll try and put it somewhere where I can turn it more. I was thinking of getting a whole bunch of little tiny turntables to put the trees on so it's easier to turn them without having to pick them up or slide them around. Alright, this one here, I'll have to go by leaf scars. I'm going to turn it to the light. Oh, look, there's a bunch of buds there. I'll bring it back to there. There's a bud there too. Maybe I like that one too. Bring it back there. Take that old leaf off. That'll do. This one here has got a little branch started down here, and all of the leaves are heart-shaped. It's like way inside there. Can't really show you. Just gonna take off some old leaves. Here's another heart-shaped one, but that one got burnt. Now that leaf bud's growing to the inside, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna bring this back to a couple of old leaves, see what it does. spider webs all over it, but I think they're actual spiders, not mites. Okay, these ones here have drooped down and now they're picking themselves back up. Well, they just come out of that part of the trunk there. So that's the branch that my eagle sits on. And I think that this division here is too close to this division. So I'm going to take off this branch here, I think. Should I take off the outside one? What do you say, eagle? Yeah, I should take off this one. It's going to be in my way. Just like that. Bad decision or not, I want this to grow a bit longer and a bit thicker before it branches, so that my eagle can sit there like such. And I have to find a way to attach him with without hurting my Jade. Yeah. That one. Take this old leaf off here. Should I nip the tip on it? No, I should let it grow. And the tippy top, which went through a big spurt. This has a nice division here. I'll leave this to grow out and thicken. But I need to nip the tip on this, but this old leaf is pretty much the only one going the direction I want. Where's a leaf scar here? Do I have any buds coming out of leaf scars? Not really. Okay. I'm going to bring it all the way back down here anyway. There is a leaf scar here. Hopefully it uses it. And this one, take this big leaf off. This one I'll bring just back to here. This nice big tip here. There's bud growing here that I can see. There's one growing here that I can see, and one growing up here. I'll bring it back to here. And that's just to keep the lower buds safe that are one more ring down. I don't want to bring it right above them. You can see that little bud. Well, not really. Can't really see it. Not in this light anyway. Take off an inside leaf here. There's a nice split up here. That's a really nice split, but I gotta bring that branch back. Or should I? Come on, brain, think, think, think. I'll leave that for a minute. And we'll go over to this side. So I have a little tiny branch coming out here from the same spot as this larger branch. And I think it flows way better than this larger branch. This larger branch comes out and it kind of juts over to the side, which you can't really tell from the front, but it bothers me. So I'm going to keep this little guy here. I'm not going to cut this big branch off all the way because I want this little one to gain bigger first. That's a whole division there. but that's okay. So I'll leave this for now until this one sort of takes over and thickens up, and it'll hide this scar here. Not ready to come off, and then I'll cut this off later. This one up here, take off this old burnt leaf, take off the inside leaf, and that dead one fell off all by itself, so I don't have to take it off. And then it gets more difficult in the apex when you get to the top, because you want all the branches to kind of meet in the middle, but not form an X or touch together like a letter A. And I find it difficult to plan the branches so they don't do that. So this one, only leaf buds to go by. I'll bring it down just to there. This one here, I'll take it back to some old leaves right here. There's a really, really long node here, and there's another long node, and then it goes into the really short ones, which is a bit of a shame, because I like having that branch there. I'm going to have to bring it back to these two old leaves to get rid of that long node. I'll bring it back to there first. I'll see what develops and what it looks like. Maybe when it thickens up it'll look better. If not, I can cut it off then. Now, these last two, they are interfering with each other. This one has a nice split. I could leave it and have it become the dominant part of the tree. What's it look like from the front? What's it look like through the camera? Ooh, interesting angle. Looks like the tree's leaning way back. That middle one's leaning a little bit, but not like it looks like in the camera. So that back one that's there, you can't really even tell it's there. Well, from my view anyway, which is a bit higher than your view, just above. Maybe I should take that whole branch off. Maybe I should take this entire branch right off and just leave the other one. Or should I take the other one off and leave the back one? No, gotta be this way. I should probably take this entire branch off. I just don't know if I want to. Well, I'll start by taking just that inside branch off. Yeah, it's gonna have to be the back one. Oopsie. Okay, oops, trip on a bag. How's that look? Well, I guess that kind of looks somewhat alright. I don't know if I like it. But if I cut that branch off, these two are going to be somewhat noticeably parallel. think I'll leave it for now. It's a decision I can make the next pruning. There's going to be a lot more prunings with this one. Hopefully this spurs some more growth on this trunk. That'd be really nice. So that's going to be it for this one. Yeah. Have its eagle here. Unlikely. It's the best branch for it anyways. But I can't leave the eagle there all the time because then the weight of the eagle itself starts to bring it down. So I gotta make sure that I keep it growing up. I might even change the planting angle so that it's more upright, because it did kind of tip over in this pot, so it'll look more like this. So I'll be able to change the planting angle enough to flatten that branch out and then let it thicken up for the eagle. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to do with this bottom branch here, because it does come off at a strange angle. It didn't look like that when I first got it, when it first started growing there, but unless it fuses here, I'll have to see. But this has healed up pretty quickly, so even if I do cut this off later, I'm sure it'll heal up fast and the scar will disappear pretty quick. This is quite the fantastic tree, let me tell you. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video for the switch because that's half hour, so I'll do some cutting and pasting to make sure it's not too long for you guys. And I'll do separate videos for them all so that you're not sitting around too much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe out there.